now see the answer. So you were given a numerical in the last lecture or last class, and now we see the answer of that numerical. So one normal solution needs 36.5 gram of pure HCl. That is the gram equivalent weight in a liter of solution. So from specific gravity, we can see how much sulfuric HCl is there. So specific gravity is 1.19. That means 1 ml of this mixture contain 1.19 gram of HCl, which is not pure. So then 1000 ml will contain 1190 gram HCl. Purity is 39%. That means 1190 multiplied by 0.39, and you get 464.1 gram of pure HCl, hydrochloric acid. Now we want to calculate the normality. How many times gram equivalents are dissolved in a liter of solution? So you just remember weight in gram per liter divided by equivalent weight. So 36.5 gram HCl in 1000 ml will give you 1 normal, and 1 gram HCl in 1000 will give you 1 by 36.5 normal, and so 464 will give you 12.7 normal. Now preparation of 1 normal 1 liter solution, N1V1, N2V2, and 12.7. We have calculated the strength of this solution, which was 12.7 normal into volume. We don't know how much of this should I take to make 1 normal 1 liter. So then is equal to 1 normal in place of N2, we write 1 into 1000 is the quantity of solution, 1 liter. It can be 2000, 5000. And you get 78.77 ml. Means you take up this much quantity from the bottle, from this bottle, and make up the volume to 1 liter. That will be your 1 normal 1 liter solution. And then you can further dilute it. If you want to dilute this 1 normal, so you can simply use the same relationship. N1V1 is equal to N2V2. Now you have 1 normal solution, and you want to prepare 0.2 normal solution from this. And you also know the quantity. Suppose you want to prepare 500 ml. So accordingly, you can do calculation. N1 means 1 is the normality into V1 is equal to, suppose you want to make 0.2 normal. So 0.2 into 500 ml or 2000 ml, whatever you. So that way you can calculate the quantity of 1 normal solution and then make up the volume to the desired quantity. So that is the way to dilute the solution. So from this, you can dilute any solution with the help of N1V1 is equal to N2V2. But thing is that you should know the normality of the basic material, normality of the acid or base, whatever you have. Then this N1V1 is quite useful. So any problem up to now? As I told you that you need to make a practical record. So these are the exercises number 3 and 4. You need to do yourself in your practical record. You can open a Word file. In that Word file, you type this question. You can copy from the PPT. I'll send you PPT. Copy from PPT and do the solution in your answer book. So prepare 1 normal solution of acetic acid on the basis of following information: equivalent weight, purity, specific gravity, all are given, and also prepare 6 normal 7-liter solution. So same numerical, and next is prepare a 1 normal solution of ammonium hydroxide. Purity is 28.3%, specific gravity 0.91, and equivalent weight is also given. So please do it in your practical record. Next is a very simple exercise. Calculate the normality of a solution containing 1.7 gram of, now these are the ways people ask numerical. Up to now it was very simple story, but now some numericals are asked, and it is good for all of you, because now these days these numericals are coming in your entrance examinations. So particularly for MSc students. So calculate the normality of a solution containing 1.7 gram of silver nitrate per 100 ml of the solution, and equivalent weight of silver nitrate is 170. Now you can do this. Normality means number of gram equivalents per liter solution. So number of gram equivalent, you can straightway calculate weight in gram divided by equivalent weight. So number of gram equivalents of silver nitrate is equal to 1.7, that is the weight, divided by 170 is equal to 0.01. So this was for 100 ml, and for liter it is 0.1 normal. So normality of the solution is 0.1. Now, for simplification, see the yellow colored lines to get you more clear about this answer. So if you have 170 gram of silver nitrate in 1000 ml solution, that will be your one normal. It is simple because the gram equivalent weight is 170. If that much is there in 1 liter solution, it means this is one normal solution. Then if it is 1 gram, then 1 by 170 normal. If it is 17 gram, then it is 0.1 normal. So the strength of this solution is 0.1 normal. Now next is calculate the weight of HCl in 2 liter of 0.1 normal HCl. Can you do it now? Calculate the weight of HCl in 2 liter of 0.1 normal.
7.3.
So fast.
7.3 gram.
So fast. So such kind of numericals are very simple. So it is very simple. He did it. So one normal 1 liter HCl contains 36.5 because you know the gram equivalent weight of HCl. H is 1, Cl is 35.5. So it is 36.5 gram HCl. So one normal 1 liter HCl contains 3.65 gram of HCl because it was one normal. Now it is 0.1 normal, means 1 by 10 or n by 10. So you 36.5 divided by 10, so it is 3.65. And now you have 2 liter instead of 1 liter, so you double it, which is 7.3. He was so fast. So, but however, others also understand this.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good. Now, after normal solution, we come to molar solution. This is another way of writing or of preparing the solution, molar solution. In some cases, we use normal solution. In some cases, we also use molar solution, and also millimolar and so on, nanomolar, this and that. So, what is molar solution? Solution in which 1 gram molecular weight of the solute is dissolved in a 1 liter solution. So just a difference here is that instead of gram equivalent weight or equivalent weight, we take molecular weight or gram molecular weight. That is the difference. Other things are same. So 1 molar solution of oxalic acid contains, you can work out the molecular weight or formula weight of oxalic acid, C2H2O4 2H2O. So if you work out, it is 126 gram, 126 gram per liter. So if 1 liter solution of oxalic acid has 126 gram of oxalic acid, then it is 1 molar solution. It is 1 molar solution. So molarity means number of grams of solute, present in 1000 ml of the solution. A 1 molar solution contains 1 mole or 1 molecular weight. Mole means molecular weight in grams of a substance in each liter of the solution. Molar method of expressing concentration is useful due to the fact that equal volume of equimolar solution having the same molarity contain equal number of molecules. If you want to study in more of this chemistry, particularly soil science student, then you can do it at your own, because now Avogadro number will come into picture and so on. That is beyond the scope of this lecture, but those who are interested can study themselves. Now, we straightway come to the numerical. Calculate the molarity. Molarity of a 100 ml solution containing 0.32 gram of NaOH. Means by now, I think you can understand if you want to make a 2 normal, 2 molar, 3 molar, so that many times molecular weight will be there in 1 liter solution. So that is the way to prepare. It is very simple to prepare molar solution. Now this is a numerical for you. Calculate the molarity of a 100 ml solution containing 0.32 gram of sodium hydroxide. So molarity is equal to number of molecular weights per liter, number of molecular weights in gram per liter. So number of moles or molecular weights is equal to weight in gram. What is the total weight of the substance in gram divided by molecular weight? How many times it is heavier than the molecular weight? That is your molarity. So here it is weight in gram is 0.32. It is given, and the molecular weight is 40 for sodium hydroxide. And you get 0.008. It is for 100 ml. Then for liter, it can be 0.08. So molarity is 0.08. Or simply for your simplification, 1000 ml solution will contain 3.2 gram of NaOH. It is given for 100 ml, 100 ml 0.32. So 1000 will have 3.2 gram of sodium hydroxide. So molarity is equal to weight in gram divided by molecular weight. 3.2 divided by 40, it is 0.08. So that is how we can work out the molarity. Now, molar solution, another exercise. Calculate the weight of NaOH in 5 liters of 0.65 molar NaOH solution. So try your hands. Try your hands. Please do it. Sodium hydroxide, you know, it has got 40. 40 is the molecular weight, and so is the equivalent weight here. Equivalent weight and molecular weight both are same here.
130 gram.
So far.
So 130 gram.
Okay, good. So I'm happy that you are able to understand. Some are doing slowly, no problem. Some are fast. So, but that is nice that many of you now understand, or rather, all of you got it. It's just revision, kind of revision. I know you must be knowing, but in some places there are no laboratory actually. When we do graduation, that time, in many times we are not exposed to chemical laboratories. They are not effective laboratory. Therefore, students do not know. But those who get opportunity, they might have learned it. So it is very simple. 1 liter, 1 molar NaOH solution contains 40 gram because this is the molecular weight. If it is 5 liter, then 5 liter will have 200 gram, 5 into 40. And then if it is 0.65, so you multiply 200 by 0.65, you get 130 gram. Is it correct, this 130 gram?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, one more exercise you can do. How many grams per milliliter of NaCl are contained in 0.250 molar solution? What is the molecular weight of sodium chloride? Na is 23 and Cl is 35.
59.5.
Eh?
59.5. 59.5.
Okay, 59.5.
Sorry, sir. 58.5.
58.5. Okay. Because that is 23 for sodium normally. 23 plus 35.5.
0.0142
Yeah.
gram.
Sir,
So point
0.46.
Okay, so that's fine. Also, now you can do this exercise in your home. This is kind of homework. How many grams of sodium sulfate should be weighed out to prepare 500 ml of a 0.1 molar solution? So these are your just exercises to sharpen your skills. Now, one more exercise you can do in your homework. Calculate the concentration of potassium ion in grams per liter after mixing 100 ml of 0.250 molar KCl and 200 ml of 0.100 molar potassium sulfate. Now things become a bit complicated, and these kind of numericals are also important. So today I will share one book on calculation. So that book was written in 1947, but is still relevant. And it has highest number of such kind of numericals. And the units, even the modern units, whatever we see today, have been used in that book. That is from MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, that was written in 1947, and it is still quite useful. So I will send you that book by email, and it will be very, very useful to the students of soil science and agriculture chemistry. And of course, some other students can also take benefit of that, but that is very good book, very simplified, and lot of such kind of numericals are there. So now I will show you answer of this numerical. Calculate the concentration of potassium ion in grams per liter after mixing 100 ml of 0.250 molar KCl and 200 ml of 0.10 molar potassium sulfate. So, no, I'm not showing you. You can do it. You can do it. You can try it yourself. If you fail, I will tell you in the next practical class. So you do it yourself. Next example is, what is the approximate molarity and normality of a 13% solution of sulfuric acid? The specific gravity of the acid is 1.090, and the next part is, to what volume should 100 ml of the acid be diluted in order to prepare a 1.5 normal solution? Such kind of questions come in your entrance examination. One time I have seen that one question was related to pH, that a solution having 100 ml solution having pH 4.5, another solution 200 ml having pH 5.6. If you mix these solution, what will be the pH? So such kind of numericals sometimes appear. So in this case, there are two questions. One is that you need to work out the molarity as well as normality of a acid which has 13%. 13%. The sulfuric acid content is given in percentage, and specific gravity is 1.09. So to what volume should 100 ml of the acid be diluted in order to prepare 1.5 normal? This is another part. Now we start. Given the specific gravity of sulfuric acid is 1.09. 1 liter weighs 1090 grams. Of purity is 13%. So you can see you multiply 1.090 by 1000. So that is in 1 liter. 1090 grams. Purity is 13%. So that means 1090 into 13%. So you get 140 grams of sulfuric acid. So this is actually pure sulfuric acid because there is no mention like that. So 13% is your pure sulfuric acid. Therefore, the quantity is 140. Now you know in 1 liter how much of this sulfuric acid is there. So this is 142 grams. Now you can calculate the normality or molarity. So 1 molar has 98 grams. So molarity of the solution is weight in gram, molecular weight. So it has 1.45 molar. 142 divided by 98 because you are calculating molarity, not the normality. Right side, the brown color, you can see. Now you want to calculate normality. So 1 gram equivalent of sulfuric acid is equal to 49. So this is gram equivalent weight of sulfuric acid, 49. And now normality, weight in gram divided by normality, divided by the equivalent weight. So 142 was the quantity divided by the equivalent weight, which is 49, you get 2.9. So you can see the normality is almost double, not almost, exactly double of the molarity here, because here you divided by the half of the molecular weight. So I think up to now there should not be any problem to you. You just have seen it. Now next part is blue. To what volume should 100 ml of the acid be diluted in order to prepare 1.5 normal solution? So 100 ml contains 290 milliequivalents of sulfuric acid. So just you have seen the equivalent weight was 2.9. 2.9 was sorry, the normality was 2.9. 2.9 was the normality, means 2.9 times the gram equivalent weight is there in 1 liter. So that means 100 ml will have 100 ml will contain 290 milliequivalents of H2SO4. You multiply this 2.9 by 100. 100 ml contains 290 milliequivalents. So milliequivalent is normality into volume. Normality into volume is equal to 2.9 into 100. So therefore you get 290. Where from this 290 has come? So normality into volume is your milliequivalents. Remember this. So 290 after dilution, X ml of 1.5 normal contains 290 milliequivalents. So therefore, this X is unknown quantity. Small x is your unknown quantity into 1.5. This is your normality is equal to 290. 290 and you want, then X will be 193. X will be 193. Or otherwise also you can simply use N1 V1 is equal to N2 V2. Normality is 2.9 already given to you. Volume is 100 ml is equal to 1.5. You want to prepare a solution of 1.5 normality and you don't know the volume. So V2 is equal to 193 ml. This is how you can do this kind of problem. For more problems, you can see the book. I will send you that book. Now we go to the milliequivalent weight. Milliequivalent weight, as the name suggests, it is 1000 part of the equivalent weight. And ppm also, we'll see what is ppm. So milliequivalent weight in grams of a substance is the equivalent weight in grams divided by 1000. It is equivalent to 1 ml of a 1 normal solution. So milliequivalent is equivalent to when you take 1 normal solution, 1 ml of a substance, this is equivalent to 1 milliequivalent. It is a unit which is common to both volumes and weights, making it possible to convert the volume of a solution to its equivalent weight and the weight of a substance to its equivalent volume of solution. So the milliequivalent unit is very, very important because if you remember or if you know it, that in the beginning you take a soil sample or plant sample, or you take the sample in the solid form. Your sample is solid, whether it is plant sample or soil sample. Then you add certain chemicals into this, you extract or you add certain chemicals, and the same material comes in volume now. It is not in weight now. It is in volume, and then all kind of titration or all kind of your volumetric studies are done. And finally, you do titration also, whatever way you do the analysis. Finally, you need to report your results on weight basis. You started with the weight and you need to end with the weight. What is the content of that particular element or nutrient on weight basis? You need to report. But in between, you have used solutions. You have used solutions or liquid. So how this can be converted from solid to liquid or liquid to solid. So milliequivalent unit is very, very important. So that is why it is written here. It is a unit which is common to both volumes and weights, making it possible to convert the volume of a solution to its equivalent weight and the weight of a substance to its equivalent volume of solution. So it is the most important unit, milliequivalent. Now you see the relationship between milliequivalent, ppm, and other kind of units. Then you will realize the value of milliequivalent. And when you do the calculations of a content of the nutrient or material in the plant, tissue, or soil, then you very frequently use milliequivalent. At that time, you will learn it more. So now you see number of milliequivalent is equal to volume of solution into normality. How many milliequivalent of a substance is there in the solution? So number of milliequivalent is equal to volume of solution. What quantity of volume was, what kind of, how much volume of the substance or solution was used to get the end point? That is volume of the solution into normality. What was the normality of the solution? For example, in nitrogen estimation, finally you go for titration. Titration, you have one sample, one beaker where you have ammonia was absorbed in boric acid. In boric acid, you have ammonia, you have mixed indicator, and then you are titrating with the sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid is used for titration. And then in this case, sulfuric acid is kept in the burette, and you put the sulfuric acid into the this mixed indicator boric acid solution, where ammonia is there. So then certain volume is consumed, certain volume of sulfuric acid is consumed, say 10 ml, 50 ml. And you also know the strength of this sulfuric acid solution. Normally it is 0.05, 0.1, 0.001. You can have any strength of this solution depending upon the nitrogen content in the plant material or soil. So normally suppose it is 0.01 normal, 0.01 normal, or whatever it is, 0.2 normal, and you know the volume. You know the volume used was 10 ml, and the strength was 0.1 normal. So it comes out to be one milliequivalent. It comes out to be 1 milliequivalent of nitrogen. So that means if I multiply this milliequivalent with the equivalent weight, I will get the value in milligram. I will get the value in milligram, which is a weight, So now you see milliequivalent is equal to volume into normality. What quantity of that substance was used to neutralize it, to standardize it? So milliequivalent is equal to volume into normality. Normality, you have prepared a sulfuric acid solution of your known strength, and volume you also know how much it is consumed. So this is equivalent to milliequivalents. So milliequivalent, and then from milliequivalent you want to know how many milligrams are there. So this milliequivalent can be multiplied by equivalent weight to get the milligram. So next line you see milligram is equal to milliequivalent per liter multiplied by equivalent weight. So then you get milligram, get the weight of the substance, and then rest is history. Gram is equal to milligram, weight in milligram can be divided by 1000. Then you will get in gram. And 1 ppm, you understand 1 ppm means 1 milligram per liter of the solution. Per liter of the solution. Take a 1 milligram quantity of a substance and make up the volume to 1 liter. This will be 1 ppm. or 1 milligram per liter of the solution. Then percentage, if you want, convert ppm into percentage. So percentage is equal to ppm divided by 10,000 or ppm into 10 to the power minus 4. And from ppm, you go to, for example, 3 ppm of phosphorus, and you want to convert in pounds per acre. So 3 multiplied by 2. So you will have 6 pounds per acre of phosphorus. So this ppm multiplied by 2, you get pounds per acre. And this pounds per acre multiplied by 1.12. Then you get kilograms per hectare. Or straight away, you can multiply ppm by 2.24 and you will get kilograms per hectare. And weight of soil of 1 hectare soil, 0 to 15 centimeter soil depth. I think you know it, 2.2 into 10 to the power 6 kilogram per hectare. And or you can call it 2.2 million kilogram per hectare. Any doubt, any point you want to ask in this?
No, sir.
This is very important. This kind of conversion or units are very, very important. Now you see this relationship is also very, very important for students. These days now people have a trend to write ppm. They don't like to write ppm. They can write milligram per kg, milligram per liter. Or instead of that, now they have gone to another level, that is microliter per liter. So we should know the relationship between these units. So common units for expressing trace concentration in very less amounts. Now people from environmental science, is there any student from environmental science? Environmental science, nobody is there, I think. But they are writing these days concentration in ppb, something like that. So you can see the relationship. Abbreviation weight by weight basis, weight by volume basis, and volume by volume basis. For example, parts per million, 1 ppm. 1 ppm is equal to 10 to the power minus 4 percentage. So you know the relationship between ppm and percentage. So abbreviation is ppm. If you report weight by weight basis, means 10 ppm in soil. So that is 10 milligram per kg soil. Or 10 microgram per gram. They are equivalents. Milligram per kg, if I say 10 milligram per kg, it is equivalent to 10 microgram per gram. So now soil scientists, they write it microgram per gram for ppm. Then weight by volume means weight, you know, milligram, volume is in liter. So it is milligram per liter. Again, it is ppm, or you can write microgram per ml. That means if I say substance is 20 milligram per liter, that means it can be 20 microgram per ml. 20 microgram per ml. Am I correct or not? I'm not confident about it.
Yes, it is correct.
It's correct. Thank you. Next is volume by volume. So microliter per liter is equivalent to nanoliter per ml. If it is 30 microliter per liter, then it is 30 nanoliter per ml. So these relationships are very, very important for you to remember, because modern days people are using these units very frequently, and we fear microgram per gram. Oh, what is this? This is actually milligram per kg. Then parts per billion. Now the same thing, just you instead of ppm, you are reporting in ppb, parts per billion. So billion here, 1 ppb is equal to 10 to the power minus 7 percentage, which is equivalent to 10 to the power minus 3 ppm. Written as ppb, microgram per kg, Here it is microgram per kg, weight by weight basis, or which is equivalent to nanogram per gram. Similarly, weight by volume, microgram per liter or nanogram per ml, and then volume by volume, NL, nanoliter per liter or picoliter per ml. Here you can see picoliter is 10 to the power minus 12 liter. Sometimes these concentrations are written as ppmv, means whether it is volume basis or weight basis, ppbv, and so on, indicating by volume. Ng is your nanogram. Ng means nanogram. And 1 Ng per gram is equal to 0.001 milligram per kg. So these are the relationship. So if you like, you can remember in future, it will be useful. Now, regarding preparation of solutions. So if you do phosphorus analysis, in many analysis, you need to prepare solutions of known strength. For example, 2 ppm phosphorus, 4 ppm, 10 ppm. Sometimes you need to develop standard curves. For this, you need to prepare solution of different strength. Or sometimes you need to prepare Stokes solution. From this Stokes solution, you can prepare working solution and so on by dilution. So many times you are asked to prepare solution in ppm, milligram per kg, or milligram ml, milligram per liter, something like. So this is the most common solution you prepare in lab. So prepare a 1 liter 100 ppm phosphorus solution from KS2PO4. So potassium hydrogen phosphate, you need to prepare 100 ppm P solution, phosphorus solution. So it is just like calculating the quantity of urea. Quantity of urea, if you want to apply 120 kg nitrogen, how much urea will be required? Similarly, same analogy we can use here. So we know the molecular weight of KS2PO4 is 136.1. So what is the atomic weight of potassium?
39.
39. For phosphorus, how much is the atomic weight?
31. 31. Yes.
Okay. For oxygen? Oxygen, O.
16.
16. I think all of you know how to make the total and total of these weights and calculate the molecular weight of formula weight. 1K is there, so that is 39 plus H is 1 into 2 plus 2. P is 31 point something, point whatever it is there, take it 31. And O is 16 into 4, 64. So make the total of all, and then it becomes 136.1. So in this case, your phosphorus is 31. Phosphorus is 31. So now calculate the amount of KS2PO4 to prepare 1 liter 100 ppm solution. So first of all, we should know how much phosphorus will be required to prepare 100 ppm P solution. So 100 ppm P solution will require 100 milligram phosphorus. Now this 100 milligram phosphorus will be taken from the potassium hydrogen phosphate. So 136.1 milligram KS2PO4 contains 31. We need to calculate it. So 31 milligram phosphorus is available in 136.1 milligram KS2PO4. It is just like urea and nitrogen. 1 milligram P is available in 136 divided by 31 milligram, and 100 milligram P is available in so many grams. So answer is 0.4390. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
It is just like
Yes, sir.
agronomy student might be knowing it. If you know the factor of relationship between these, then also we can do it. Now, this is exercises for you. Prepare a 2 liter 1000 ppm K solution from KCl. You do it. You need to, that means you need to calculate the quantity of KCl required to prepare 2 liter 1000 ppm solution, ppm K solution. Here it is K. And you can see KCl, K is 39 and Cl is 35.5 you can take. or 35.45, whatever you like.
Yeah, 3.82 gram.
3.8235.
Good.
So 3.82.
Okay. So many are saying this, that means it should be correct.
3.812.
Okay. So some differences may be there, some differences. That depends if you take exact value of chlorine as 35.453 and like this, then it will be, there will be some slightly different answers. So normally what we do, we just round off the value. For chlorine, we normally take 35.5, but if you take the exact values, then little bit answer will vary. No problem. Thing is that we should know it. Prepare a 2 liter 1000 ppm K solution from KCl. Molecular weight, suppose in this case I have taken 74.55. So now calculate the amount of potassium to prepare 2 liter 1000 ppm. So first we need to calculate the quantity of potassium K in terms of K that is required to prepare 2 liter 1000 ppm. So 1000 ppm 1 liter, it is for my understanding, I write very simple things. So 1000 ppm 1 liter K solution needs 1000 milligram because it is 1000 ppm. So if it is 2 liter, then it will be doubled. So 2000 milligram of potassium is required. Then how much KH2PO4 will supply this much of K? So 39 milligram K is available from 74.55 milligram KCl. Then 1 milligram 74 by 39 milligram KCl. And then 2000 is required. So 2000 into 74 divided by 39 and you get 3.81 gram. Some can get answer in milligram also. So it makes no difference. Now, one example is there that a 2.6 gram sample of plant tissue, a 2.6 gram sample of plant tissue was analyzed and found to contain 3.6 microgram zinc. The weight of the sample was 2.6 and total zinc in this sample was 3.6 microgram. What is the concentration of zinc in the plant in ppm and in ppb? So now you note down this question and I will go back to the slide where I have shown these units and you should do it at your own. So first you note down the question. The weight of the sample is equal to 2.6 gram. Weight of the plant sample is equal to 2.6 gram. Zinc content is equal to or concentration is equal to 3.6 microgram. And you need to convert it, find the concentration in ppm and in ppb. So this is the question, this is the problem, and you need to find the answer.
1.38, sir.
1.38 ppm, sir.
Okay.
1.38 ppm and 1.38 ppm.
1.38 ppm.
Very good. I'm very happy that You are so fast. Now you see the solution. 2.6 gram plant sample contains 3.6 microgram zinc. So therefore, 1 gram plant sample contains 3.6 microgram divided by 2.6 gram. It is the weight, zinc. So it is 1.384 microgram per gram zinc, and or you can say ppm also, because microgram per gram is equivalent to ppm. Zinc in percentage, if you want, ppm into 10 to the power minus 4. So you get 0.000138% zinc. 1000 gram, 1 kg sample contain 1384 microgram zinc. Parts per billion is your 1384. So this is how you can do it. So this ends here. And any question, anything, I try to have very simple things. Hope you enjoyed it. Complete your practical record. And if you just let me show you, I stop the recording here.